maybe you need to read the Bible. You just jump from Nollywood. You never read the Bible. Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I just want to do a quick response to Edochie's podcast on marriage and everything he said. Now, there is what is called nonsense. There is another thing called errant nonsense. But I don't mind when foolishness is even wrapped up in some level of intellectualism. But when foolishness is displayed without even the little cover of intellectualism, then it's very worrisome. Now, it is very dangerous, okay, for a man to use his personal failures to become a teaching, especially if you now claim that God called you to ministry. You know, what I found out about ministry really is that people who have failed in every other area of life, suddenly they think that the ministry is a place where they can suddenly gather clout, look for cheap popularity. The ministry is holy, it is sacred. And if you say you are speaking for God, you better know what you are talking about. Family is God's idea, has always been God's idea. See, let me tell you the way God designed family. It's a place where you are accepted for who you are, not for what you are. Family is a place where you can come for succor, you can come for rest. Bertrand Russell was a very brilliant man. Before he died, he made a statement. He said the greatest regret he had in life was that he never found love. That was the greatest regret. That a man should live the whole of his existence without finding that person with whom to do life in a meaningful way. Now, if you haven't found that person, don't make it a doctrine. I remember an American comedian, and this guy had married 10 times, and he was dating the person he was planning to be his 11th wife, and he had this comedy show. And of course, in the show, he was talking about, marriage. If it tire you, you move on. Even my girlfriend out there knows that even when we marry, if it doesn't work, everybody moves his way. And he made it sound so funny. People were laughing and the rest. At the end of the event, a minister approached him and said, "Young man, I have a question for you. Are you happy? Because when I look at you, I see a very lonely young man." He broke down and started crying. He said, "Sir, if you look at my heart, I am the loneliest man you will ever find." Don't promote a cause that would plunge people into a miserable life. And to be honest, I want you to understand that by the time you are promoting an untenable lifestyle, a lifestyle that just completely is bizarre and completely leads to disaster, I want you to know that you are helping the devil to cascade this generation to a place that I would call never land. And that's a dangerous path to take. Now, if you did a little bit of literature, you probably heard about Ernest Hemingway. I mean, Hemingway was a brilliant writer. But unfortunately, he lost his way, moving from here to there. In his later years, he was so miserable that the only thing he cried about was that he could never express intimacy with another human being. I mean, I could go story after story after story, but that's not my purpose. I just want you to know that you are on a path that does not even make sense. Number one, I mean that respectfully, but that's just what it is, to be honest. And then even if that's where you are at, don't promote it as if it's some big revelation, especially when you now claim to be a pastor. I wonder where you were called. Okay, how did God design us? What did God design us for? God designed us for love, and love has its boundaries. There is nothing like free love. When you marry this one, you no work, marry another one. If you no work, marry another one. In fact, just they marry, they go. There's nothing like free love. Love, by its definition, is binding. That's what makes love meaningful. That I am bound to one person through the highs and the lows. We work out our differences by God's grace, and we forge to make our relationship better. That your marriage failed doesn't mean that you make it a doctrine. If at all you will say you are a pastor and you want to help people, teach them how not to fail. The path you took that led to your marital failure and where you are at right now, teach them how not to make the same mistake you made. Not to promote as if to say it's just okay to marry and marry and marry. Free love is a contradiction. There's nothing like free love. Okay? Because if you say that you love somebody, what that means is that you stay with that person. You work out your differences. That's how marriage works. Where do we get the kind of love that God intended from the beginning? I'll tell you, only one place. We get it from only the Judeo-Christian mindset. The Judeo-Christian worldview. That's the only place where you get it. Where love is between a man and his wife for the rest of their lives. Maybe you need to read the Bible. You just jump from Nollywood. You never read the Bible. As the other comedian was saying the other time, they read them from the back. Try to read it from the front. Then maybe you will understand where God is going when it comes to not only the issue of marriage, but other issues as well. Now, so let me take 1 minute to talk to all of you young people who may, be thinking that maybe there's a little sense in what this man is saying. It no get sense. Waiting he talk, no get any sense at all. It is pointless. It is completely unreasonable and counterproductive. There is nothing to be gained by it. This is the first time I'm doing a video and calling out somebody, because when I saw that video, I just could not stomach it. So in case you have not seen that video, I'll leave the link on the description box below so that you can go check it out and look at, glorified nonsense. It's just... So all the young people, I want you to know that true love is possible. It's possible to meet that person with whom you can do life. If you are going to go God's way, you are going to ask God to guide you and help you, you can get that person with whom you can spend the rest of your life. I'll be doing more videos, dropping videos as often as I can, but I want you to know that love is a great thing. It's a good thing to have. Morality can never be dispensed with. There are absolutes. Running away from absolutes to say that I can just, it depends on, situational ethics will never ever give you the joy and the happiness you are looking for. So go for love, go for God's word, go for God's way. It's always the better way. It's always the better way. So think about it, and please like this video, share it, subscribe to my channel. God bless you. I'll see you in my next video.